I went for the Razer Blade 14 2015 because I was in the market for something portable where I could edit all of my videos for school as well as personal projects. Coming from an HP Spectre X360, that couldn't take me further than 1 minute of video editing without it possibly crashing due to its RAM being limited to 8GB and dual-core processor with just integrated graphics. That's until I found this machine and knew I had to go for it. Here I present the Razer Blade 14 2015. Is it so good after a year being released? The chassis is made completely out of black anodized aluminum, allowing this machine to weigh only 4.3 pounds, making it a considerably portable machine. I do have this laptop coated with a black leather Dbrand skin. I will leave a link below to their website, as they have really cool skins for many kinds of devices. On the right, you have a Kensington lock, one HDMI port, and one USB 3.0 port. On the left, you have power in, two USB 3.0 ports, and an audio jack. One of my favorite features of this machine is the hinge, mostly just because I can lift up the lid with just one finger without any wobbling. That's pretty impressive, and it does make the machine feel and look much more premium. This machine comes with a 3200 by 1800 Quad HD Plus display and utilizes an IGZO panel. This display is very colorful and bright, which for me at least made it very suitable for Photoshop work and Sketchbook Pro drawings. This also uses a touchscreen, which I personally do appreciate, since I find myself scrolling with it very often. It is not something that I personally am willing to give up this time around, as I'm just too used to it. Inside, you get a 4th generation Intel Core i7 processor, quad-core with 2.6 GHz, 16GB of DDR3 RAM, GTX 970M with 3GB of VRAM, and a 256GB solid-state drive. The speakers are alright. They give a good enough sound that still makes it enjoyable to watch videos or play games, but does sound a bit tinny.
Home sweet home.
Because the sky is blue, it makes me cry.
Not a huge issue though, I'm not an audiophile, but I still enjoy the speakers. The webcam isn't something I paid too much attention to before, but here you are getting a 1080p webcam, which is very solid and gives a good picture quality for video conferencing, or just Skype calls if you're that kind of person to do the Skyping. The keyboard is very tactile. It's fairly quiet, yet it still gives you a good tactile feedback with a soft, clicky sound. Key travel is great, as the keys go deep enough to make it a good tactile experience. Personally, I do enjoy it a lot. I have heard some complaints about the trackpad not feeling premium enough, but that's not the case with me. This is a great trackpad. The only gripe is probably that I do wish the trackpad was larger, though that's just a personal preference. Quite frankly, it is actually a good size, I shouldn't be complaining much, but I do like big trackpads. Just a personal preference, again. So far, I've had a great experience using this machine. I know it's advertised as a gaming laptop, but I mostly have been using it for editing videos for school and personal stuff, and so far, I just freaking love this machine. Understanding that not even the 970M is powerful enough to game past 1080p, with most titles on high to ultra settings, I fired up a few games to see how they'd perform. With Witcher 3, I had the best experience playing on medium settings, so I would hit the 60 frames per second mark with no issues. Very solid gaming experience and consistent frame rate. With Paragon, I did bring settings down to medium, 1080p for the same reason as The Witcher 3, and was able to sustain around 60 frames per second on average, which is still pretty impressive as Paragon is actually more demanding than some people may think. Skyrim, however, was a great experience at high settings on 1080p, with little to no issues and would only drop an FPS when I was surrounded by an unusual amount of joggers. Pretty impressive, again. When it came to editing videos in Adobe Premiere, I had a very smooth editing experience. Adobe was able to take advantage of the CUDA cores from the GTX 970M. Thanks to the 16GB of RAM, I was able to do some pretty heavy video editing at 1080p. When using Adobe Premiere with all of my video inputs, I had reached about 70% memory usage and 80% CPU load. This one could definitely handle a lot, as the kind of videos I was throwing at it were pretty heavy. I edited this entire review in Adobe Premiere. One thing to keep in mind, however, is that whether I'm gaming or using Adobe Premiere, the fans begin to spin very fast and loudly. This is actually another gripe I do have with the machine, since since the fans didn't make enough noise to make my classmates turn to me because they thought my machine was going to burn out. But the fans only spin that fast because of that 80% CPU usage, so that's pretty normal, though I would wish for some quieter fans. I usually use this laptop with my Seagate 1TB external hard drive, as it holds all of my video files, my Razer Orochi, and Apple earbuds to edit, and it seems to be a very comfortable editing and gaming experience with these peripherals. The only complaints I have are about the fans being very loud when the laptop is under load. Battery life could also be better. I understand it's got a quad-core CPU, a GPU, and a 3200 by 1800 display to power, but 4 hours out of normal use and just 1 hour gaming and about 1 hour and 40 minutes of video editing could be better, to be frank. In conclusion, this is a total powerhouse. I am able to edit all of my videos very smoothly while in school without compromises, though I do wish this laptop had quieter fans and a better battery life. Otherwise, everything else is a plus for this laptop, and I simply love using it. Great build quality, amazing performance, and very portable. Just pretty much exactly what I was looking for. And to answer my question from the beginning, yes, it is definitely still worth it this year. Though if you do feel like you need more power, you've got the 2016 model available as well. I will leave a link in the description to the Razer store for it. This has been Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing you all later. Enjoy!
Seeds watch us grow up and try to follow us. Police watch us.